advertising, people have got the reputation that they will do anything for money, or they'll quite happily peddle other people's propaganda. But I think the way that we approach work here at Blue Society is basically much more about, I suppose myself as well, from the work we do, we always try and find something that hits home and hits a grain of truth, perhaps a hidden truth, something that hasn't been said before, but that basically makes you reassess either anything from buying a new car or buying a branded toilet roll. There's something about it that's interesting, that's worthy of conversation, and that's usually the thing you're looking for.
Are there words that you wouldn't use in terms of political correctness? For example, how much can you swear now in an ad?
Yeah. Well,
especially
the internet
words describing women as well. For
Yeah.
example, tramp, slut, or.
There's definitely language that I wouldn't go near.
Like
I suppose. I think probably swearing is pretty much a no-no. I'm not quite sure why. Probably because legally you're not allowed to do it more than anything. The thing I've most enjoyed writing, I suppose, is a little slogan that's felt a bit naughtier than it probably was this "spank the beast." That expression, as it sounds a lot cheekier and naughtier than it probably is. Or we actually
sexual, I guess.
Well, it's a little bit sexual, and particularly when referred to in terms of this little animal that we created as well to symbolise a mortgage. It felt like language that didn't fit in advertising. I believe people are interested in things that are relevantly original and controversial, I suppose. I mean, controversial really means going against sort of the convention, I suppose. If you start to use very flowery, beautiful language to describe something like, I don't know, skin cancer, then that's when things get interesting. And I suppose that's what poets do, it's what artists do. There's a limit to how much controversy I think you can legitimately create in advertising, and rightly so. I mean, ultimately, you're trying to start a conversation, you're not trying to just say the word fuck and hope that everyone sort of comes and listens to what you've got to say. That doesn't work.
Do you describe yourself as a writer?
I prefer the expression writer to sort of an ideas person or someone like that, because it sounds so stupid to say, what do you do? Well, I'm an ideas person.
You could also have really dumb ideas.
A writer-director is what I call myself, I suppose. But essentially, for me, advertising is where you get to solve other people's problems for them. And art, or something more artistic, is where you tend to solve your own. You're writing completely from your own heart. If you said to someone, right, just go and write something beautiful, essentially that's what a novelist is thinking about every time they sit down to try and write something.
What about then the idea of creativity for the sake of creativity? For example, when you Google search advertising or copywriting, the word creativity recurs an insane amount of time.
Yeah, it's a good question, and certainly the advertising industry is very guilty of claiming to be creative all the time. I'm a creative. That's probably the only other word I would rather not use about myself than an ideas person. But for me, creativity is actually about being yourself, which is possibly a strange answer. If you are absolutely yourself, then the work will be absolutely original.
Redwood.